Hello, Internet. We are not watching internet porn.
I promise.
Hello, Internet. I'm Dr. Paul.
I'm Dr. Paul.
We are coming at you, this just in,
What do you think?
I like turtles.
from Knoxville, Tennessee. What are we doing in Knoxville, Tennessee?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Bunch of hookers and cocaine.
We just got back from Wonderfest.
Field reporting.
We're not from Wonderfest because it's over now, but we got out of Dodge and made it a few hours down the road.
We travel the ends of the earth to bring good news to you folks.
Tidings of joy.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, mother.
What is Wonderfest?
Wonderfest. Wunderbar.
What is it?
Wonderfest und what would they call that? A scale modeling convention at heart.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
But anything having to do with cons attract also a number of some cosplay elements, some movie elements, some video game elements. So you can all sort of find all that subculture here within that, or there within that.
Yeah. Now, some of you are watching because you show up for our show every week. Some of you are watching because you know Wonderfest, you see Wonderfest in the title, and you're all about it.
Some of you, maybe one or two, saw a flyer and you decided, who poorly printed this shizer up and decided to put two piles on the table? The audacity.
Get off my case, motherfucker!
We spent 3 days at Wonderfest. 1 day I did with a mini workshop, and then 2 days, for the convention. And this episode is we're just giving you our update, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it.
The wrap show.
We have other episodes on here. We've got a dealer's room that's already up, and we will soon have the model room, the display room, competition room. Yes. So
we're going to do top 5 from that, or a top something or another, our favorites in a short video too.
Yes. So this is your third one. What do you think? What do you like?
In some ways, the trip was better. In some ways, the trip was worse, I think. But the focus should be mostly on Wonderfest und Wonderfest.
I told you we should have brought Deutschmarks.
They are so hard to find.
Those are not.
They are.
Just buy ATMs.
And I think I enjoyed it better this year.
Why?
Well, first of all, the movie I think was more my style. Even I didn't get to finish it, but it's something I already bought it to finish watching. Maybe even tonight.
What he's referring to is that they usually have guests at this, and they have a theater upstairs, and they show a couple movies on Saturday night. And the movie that we saw was
Matinee.
Joe Dante film. Joe Dante was supposed to have been a guest, but
couldn't be there. He had a little forward that we couldn't hear.
Yeah,
it was too loud in the room.
All right, I agree.
But yeah, that was like a big part of my childhood in a way, because I remember that movie cover from the store, so I've always wanted to see it. Now getting a chance to see it, watch about halfway through it, it was really good. So.
A blockbuster moment you had. Mm-hmm.
For sure, it was good though. So, but things like that, I mean, I think I just enjoyed it a little bit better. I was more prepared for what I had to do this time, so I think it was just better. It was a little bit better.
I think I love it every single year. I think what I like about it is the heart of this for me, and the high point is actually the Friday, where you can pay extra and you can participate in a building class where they will actually provide you the model, all the supplies, the paints, all the glue, anything that you would need, and you actually construct that model. Amazing Figure Modeler is one of the organizations that sponsors that. It's a magazine. This field of scale modeling, I'm really into modeling and comic book models and monster models and dinosaur models. That magazine, we owe such a debt to them, and the wealth of knowledge that they have. It is the high point. It's a full day class that you pay for it. This year was a mummy diorama that was just totally new, using waxes. I mean, I know you can use waxes and pastels and build in model kits. Last year it was Pumpkinhead, and so that's fascinating. There's another organization that does an airbrush class, and I heartily, if you are within We had a 9-hour drive, and so I'm telling you, it was worth 9 hours to drive. Pay the extra money and take one of the classes. The airbrush class actually it includes the cost of an airbrush. You take the airbrush with you, and if you pay a little bit extra, it's an airbrush and the compressor. It's everything, and massive model. The model this year was Curse of the Werewolf.
It was totally gnarly looking.
It is.
I wanted to buy
really,
one.
Yeah,
Wanted
it's
to buy
just so I like. That's what I like a lot. Obviously, the dealer's room and the competition. If I would I say that it was better than last year? I don't know,
I didn't say it was necessarily better. I said I enjoyed it more.
because of the movie,
Because
and I
it was
agree
just
with
a
you.
little bit more my speed. Some of the extracurricular things this time as opposed to last was the biggest difference.
Mhm. What else did you like about it?
Yeah.
Because you've never taken one of the classes.
No. I mean, I'm not really much of a painter per se. I mean, I think I would like to in theory. I just don't really have anywhere to do it at the house at the moment. So I would like to. I bought a model last year and I haven't touched it. I've thought about it a ton and I wanted to bust it out, even if it's just to put it together and glue the thing together. But I would like to. I've done it before. I have the little Warhammer figures that I did it for a period of time. And this, I keep wondering what's on the screen behind me now for some reason. I want to be a butthole. Scarlett Johansson's butt again.
Yeah.
So I'm not much of a painter, so those don't really attract me as much. But everything else is cool.
It's very well organized, because you have typically with a con, you've got a dealer's room that's open up. You've got there's a competition where people will build models and bring them to display, and then they're judged. And last year, I think they set a record. It was like over 2,000 kits, 2,000 models that were on display. And these are everything from micro models to
In the
huge
competition room.
displays. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
competition room. That's great kind of stuff. It's very well organized. But they also have workshops that go throughout the day, just like a Comic-Con. But they're really amazing things. How to paint eyes, how to do dinosaur skin, how to 3D printing is just
Oh, yeah.
huge. And how do you go about doing that?
I think 3D printing has changed the game in a actual good way, because it sort of localized the ability to do it, and I think it's brought down the cost severely.
It changed the dealer room.
It
How
did.
many models that were out there? The massive number of models that you could tell they were all and much cheaper.
Yeah,
3D
and normally
models.
this is a model in any other sort of medium of cast, where resin or plastic or what have you. These, even when they're casts themselves, they're just not as high quality, but they tend to be more expensive. So you can find the same model and it's going to be $50 as a 3D print versus $100 as a resin cast.
Yeah.
So it's really changed. And for someone like me and my budget level, it's not, I can't go spend $200 on a cool model every time. So $50, $100, that's more like well within a reasonable range.
It also has enabled people to individualize,
Custom.
personalize their model. So if you bought a kit off the shelf and it's a spaceship, 3D printing would allow you to add an alien or what, a side door or whatever. I mean,
Coming
it
up
really
with
is
different sort of mashups. We saw
makes
the one
yours
that
look
was
different.
The guy from Jaws with the creature of the Black Lagoon, and sort of a swap with that. That was brilliant. There's a model that I saw there called the Brood Verine, which is like Wolverine as like this vampire creature. Very awesome. And there was literally like a little sign next to it, like you can order one, but it's going to take a while because these things are going hot off the shelves. So it's really, I think it's changing him in a good way.
Yeah, no, I agree. The dealer room, the models that were out there. What anything else that you put on the good list?
I just think it was a little bit. I think you talked about like maybe there was less stuff there. I think there was slightly less stuff, but I liked the quality of the stuff better. It was everything seemed to be in a better price range altogether for some reason. Like especially in the B room, we talked about that. There's a couple places it was like, geez, it's kind of like stupid cheap in here.
Yeah.
What the heck's the deal?
The models that were on display, these are people that do those on all types of subject matter, and they're organized. So there's horror, and there's sci-fi and comic book, and there's scratch build, and there's weapons and spaceships and
Miniatures,
dinosaurs.
the Fraser guy, the
Yes.
beard dude.
Yes,
Which
miniatures.
we caught him the second day. Today. Was that today?
Yes.
My whole life is a blur. But we caught him today, and his girlfriend or his wife or whatever was there, and he was like taking his picture, and I just happened to have my camera out, so I got some footage of it, and which was cool because we were Googling or oogling over that thing yesterday.
How would you compare the quality of the kits this year compared to last year?
I think the quality was a little bit better last year, but I think there were cooler selections. Again, to me, to my taste, I just saw so many models. Like that's just a cool.
There's
concept.
jaw-dropping models that
A
you'll
ton
look
of those
at.
like crazy creatures and like a little kid running away with his cane. Like I saw 2 or 3 of those that were just awesome. There was the MODOK one, which I really liked. There was the first models that we saw when I walked in, which was the noir sort of Casablanca looking thing with the shadow painted on the wall.
Humphrey
that was
Bogart kind of thing.
dope.
Oh,
Yeah. Was it not Lost in Space? There was another miniature one that had like a hand in it that you talked about.
yes, it was the Land of the Giants.
Mhm.
Somebody designed, it looks like the set design where they're filming it. So you got Studio A and Studio B. Studio B is essentially props that they're going to use on the show. And the amount of work that went into this, it's just, if anybody that's watching this, and we've mentioned any of your models, I'm telling you, you made this worth the 9-hour trip. It is inspiring to see the gifts and talents that people have.
It's a good thing and a bad thing because it's like, ooh, this is awesome. That makes me want to do it. And then at the very same time, I'm like, but wait a minute, I'm never going to be this good. So let me just not do it.
I intentionally don't bring my models to display.
Yeah.
I want to
You
give.
don't want to see them next to each
I
other.
want to have other people have a chance to
Those areas where you miss the line start looking a little clearer when you put them next to it.
You learn if you're into building models, and again, this is not airplanes and ships and cars, although you'll
There's
find
some of that.
some
There's
of
some of
that,
that.
but it's really not.
Well, I think there's a niche for everything
Yeah.
there.
You'll learn something. If you go to this, you will get tips. I learned things, I took notes, things that is going to improve my work.
I learned in the dealer room is that I know nothing because looking around and you see like the awards and who's winning awards. And I'm like, I think that this one looks better and it didn't get an award. This one won an award. And I don't think it looks that good at all. I genuinely have no flipping clue.
I think there's a level of subjectivity, but I also think there are age classes.
Yes. And I know
So
there's a
you might have
difference. There's
seen
like the
someone's youth
juniors.
and, yeah.
And I saw some from some younger kids. You could tell this had to be like a little kid doing it.
Mhm.
But like some of them were like, I've never done anything remotely that close
Yeah.
to that good.
If you have young kids, bring them to Wonderfest.
Make it, take it.
Make it and take it. And these are free, where kids under 16 can go in. They've got the model, the paint and everything. You paint it, you take it with you when you go. And I've heard that you can go in more than once.
Oh yeah, when we went last year, Cortland didn't come this year. Well, he got 2 of them last year, so I'm sure it was the same thing.
It's very family friendly. Now there are models where they have scantily clad, women and models.
but
and
it's not. I don't think that there was anything that was like over the line in any sense of the amount.
Well, but if you were 7 years old,
Yeah.
Vampira is gonna, But it's good for puberty. I'm just saying, bring your kids, and there's not a lot of those, but I think there might be some parents that,
maybe a few.
yeah.
But I don't think that there was anything.
There's
that
no
I would-
nude models,
No,
although
none of
there
that.
is a ton of nude resin kit, models that you can buy.
Oh sure.
None of these, they really do a good job of policing that and patrolling that. There are people that wear costumes, like you said, with cosplay. It sounds like it's amazing. So there's nothing bad.
I mean, I think that there's some bad, but I think it has to do more with the venue than a lot of things. That,
Well, talk about that.
well, they posted last year, under renovations. It's been a year.
Mhm.
Where are they?
Well,
Where are
you
these
saw
renovations?
some.
Well,
The lobby,
we saw a floor in the lobby.
the lobby looks
Yes.
really good.
The lobby and the restaurant, which if you take a look last time versus this time, we ate at the restaurant. Everybody ate breakfast in that restaurant.
Yeah.
Nobody was in that restaurant. Not a person was in that restaurant that I was seeing it. Yeah, late at night there was some stragglers, but there's nobody was using the restaurant at all. You could change it. It changed sort of demos. It was like family buffet, just straight.
I didn't check the prices either. You think, did that have anything to do with it?
I didn't look, but it looked very upscale, like almost like you would go somewhere to have like tea and like biscuits or something. It was real weird, but I heard people all over the place complaining about it. There was a bar next door to it that was full to the brim of people, which was the same type of demo that the place used to be. So you could tell they probably made a
Right.
mistake.
Not crazy bar kind of stuff. I mean, I didn't see anything what I would say was
No, they served
over
liquor and beer, but
excessive. No.
nobody was like running around like doing
There's a
anything
level
crazy.
of community in people that the age group of Wonderfest tends to skew to
a little
people,
older.
your
demographic.
in their 60s and 70s, and that's fine. It breaks, my heart. That I think young people aren't as enamored with modeling, but I saw quite a few
There were some
kids and
There
families
was
that
a
were
few.
there, and younger people that were doing it. I agree. The venue itself, and what made it difficult is it rained this week. And so we really felt like we were a hostage in the hotel because we were afraid that if we moved our car to go get something to eat, we'd never get a parking spot. And it just seemed like that there were many, many more cars this time than there.
And
than
and
there
again,
were.
that's you have the construction thing, so
Yeah.
there's crap all over the place.
There was a lot of active construction. It was very noisy. And we
hotel was
just
very
we were
noisy.
across the hall from a
Hospitality
hospitality suite from a company, and I'm telling you, Dr. Paul goes to bed at 8:30, and I'm telling you, like at 9 o'clock they were rocking and rolling,
Yeah.
or even later. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I don't like there's not enough of a food choice that's there in the hotel. That was a little harder.
Well, they seemed to not offer a whole lot. There was no, and I know this might be picky, but there was no like shampoo or stuff set out. They had like a bottle in there. There was no like microwave.
Yeah.
The refrigerator was really teeny. I mean, they didn't seem to offer a lot. It seemed to like a little hollow, these offers of like, oh, next year. Because even now the areas that were renovated were looking a little scuzzy themselves. And it just,
We're in a Residence Inn now in Knoxville, and
this hotel is 10 times better.
it is. I love Residence Inn. Residence Inn. Okay, call me. I'm serious. That's my hotel of choice. I mean, it's clean, it's bright, it's roomy. The amenities that they give you, and this costs less than what it costs for one night.
Yeah.
In
No water in the gym, nothing to wipe the machines down with.
yeah.
They got a pool sitting there, just
Well, that was closed
Chained
last year,
off.
and that was
sitting there doing nothing.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
I suspect that it will do when they're done. It's going to change things.
Yeah, but how long is it going to take to do that, man?
I don't know, but
Because by the time they get it done, everything else is going to need to be
I think they have some
renovated.
floors that are done. We just happen to be on a floor that wasn't done.
But how long is that going to take?
I don't
a
know.
year?
Because
I didn't seem to be doing much work while we were there. That's the thing.
Oh, I saw them all. Every time I turned around, they were pushing another cart full of asbestos or
I
whatever
didn't
it
see
was.
I mean, I saw like maids and stuff. I didn't see anything.
No,
other
I saw workers, and they had this sign up from the company. My fear is once they're done with the renovations, they're going to kick Wonderfest out, because you talk about painting. They did put down some plastic in a couple of the rooms that I saw that I don't remember being there, and somebody had mentioned that they're really concerned about people having exposed, and in fact the airbrush class that I did was food coloring. It wasn't paint. Not that I think that makes a difference, because food coloring would stain a carpet just as much. But
No, probably more so.
yeah, this thing is in, I don't know how many years it's been going on. We went to our first Wonderfest back in like 1990,
97.
No,
It was the
something like
year
that.
that Kentucky won the championship in basketball.
Of course, you would remember that.
Well, I got a T-shirt.
Yeah. So
It's also, that is the trip. On the way, some point in the trip, we were in the McDonald's drive-thru, and that's where I got to make my decision to become a meatitarian. And he made that stupid mistake in the drive-thru of McDonald's. He let me make that choice. What did you think the outcome of said choice was going to be? Oh, gee, Paul, let me get that good old cheese sandwich. Mm-mm.
I'm losing it, loving it. No, I'm losing it.
that's for another video, another time. Did we buy anything?
We bought a few things.
Well, you wanna?
I set quite a, well, I wouldn't say quite a bit of money. For me, quite a bit of money aside to spend, and I didn't spend half of what I set aside, but I still felt like I came out good.
Yeah.
I was ready to buy this year. I wasn't ready to buy last year, and I felt like I spent more money last year than this year, and I think it's because I was ready to buy.
I would suggest, if you're going to go to this, is think about, because you're going to probably find it there. And there are classic model kits back from the 50s and 60s that are there, that are older, that you can purchase, and then there are ones that have been sort of re-releases of those figures, and then new models. So if you're interested in a certain topic or a certain model, go online first, and look around
Be
the internet.
prepared.
There's a ton of sites that sell model kits, and so sort of get a pick. I knew based on that, I knew what I wanted to buy before I got there. And I also know if you look at the dealer room and the dealer list, it will show you as you get closer to, who is exactly going to be selling there. And then you can go back and check their website to see kind of things that they have. So I think that's the best thing to do, and then go in with a plan. I knew, here's another tip for you. It opens up.
Early bird.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, the early bird, if you can pay an extra $20, they will let you in a couple hours
8 a.m.
early.
As opposed to 10.
Yes. And I think that that's a good thing because things will be gone. That if they maybe have 1 or 2 or 3. I bought a particular model during that time, and they had one one-copy of it.
Yep.
And so,
Yep.
And so it's
T-Rex.
worth it. It's worth the $20 extra that you can. And there's still a lot of people in there that goes in at 8, but that's probably smart.
Last year we left before 10. This year we stayed until 10. We were leaving right as they let the people in, and I didn't realize just how many people came pouring through there. And yes, when we came back after they initially opened up, it was all picked through.
Oh, it was like
Everything
Moses leading the promised children, out of Egypt.
Because you saw some stuff on the video that we put from the dealer's room with the highlights. You saw some stuff on there. You're like, oh, I want to go back and look at that. And that was not even anywhere near to be found.
Yeah. There are models in there that are $5, especially for kids, little, smaller little resin
Tons of them.
things. $15, $20, $25. You have T-shirts. You buy one, you can get you buy 2. They give you, a cheaper deal kind of stuff. And then they have models that cost $300-$400. So there really is something in there for every price.
There's even like original artworks. I was looking at a particular Exorcist painting this guy did. It was $50, but he also had a bigger version of it that was $2,200.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Yeah.
So
show what you.
Well, I mean, I don't want to pull it all out. I got some T-shirts which I will feature on the channel coming up. They'll be what I'm wearing, and I'll point them out to you. But this was my boo that I bought right here. Do we know who this is, everyone? This is Simeon Radicus, aka Nurse Rat Chet. Welcome to the channel, Nurse Rat Chet.
What worries me is how your mother's going to take this.
And where did Ratchet make her film debut?
In a little love film called Dead Alive.
You've got the bite.
I knew the answer.
You looked at me with your dumb look.
That's the only look I got. Zingaya. But yeah, I saw it and I had to have it. It was between this or a face hugger wall thing. But the thing that turned me off to the face hugger was that it was a preprint from 2020 and I didn't like that. So not for $80. So this guy, I was really tempted to buy a xenomorph model I've been wanting to get. I've also been wanting to get a face hugger model, but I think I'm going to do that. We saw one online. Some T-shirts though, but I'll feature those. What about you? I know you got some good
bought
stuff.
a new airbrush. This is the same airbrush that I took. They have free classes on how to use an airbrush, and they can teach you how to do it and how to clean it and all stuff. So this is new. This is an example of a 3D, and I know you probably can't see it very well, but it is from They Lives. And I believe it was like $20 kind of stuff. And I saw one that was resin that was like $45. And so big difference for that. These were like, you could buy 2 for $25. This is Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. This is Herman Munster as a biker kind of thing. And they show you that typically what they'll do is they have models that are there that are raw models that you have to put together, and then they'll have copies of them that are painted, so you sort of see what the paint scheme was. And this particular company, they set up in the middle, and they just have tons of these things. $5 to $15, $20. I bought one last year that I just painted. Alfred E. Newman as Frankenstein, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. This is Jurassic Park. From X Plus, and it is really kind of a nice little dinosaur. We saw, in fact, somebody had entered one into a contest.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should.
I know it says $50 on there, but if my wife is watching this, it was not $50.
That's yen.
This was actually they were handing these out as you walked in the door, and I just happened to be there at the right
Everyone got one.
time. Yeah,
It was like Frampton Comes Alive in the 80s. They were just handing them out.
yeah. I also bought, and you really can't see it, but
Looks pretty. Come on, man.
one
What are
of
you
my
doing here, bro?
I'm sorry.
What is he doing? Has he never been on television before?
One of my favorite companies there is Blackheart Models.
Yes,
And
my boys.
It is amazing, the stuff. I mean, I talked to his daughter. I said that's really one of the reasons why I go. I love Blackheart Models. They have these huge full-size busts. They have wall hangers. They have little tiny micro models. And from what I understand, the owner of Blackheart Models is a big part and partner in Wonderfest. And so if you go, make sure you go to Blackheart Models and make sure you buy something.
You won't miss it. It's got the
Very-
whole side just
Oh.
locked down.
If you're a Star Trek fan, they have little model of every single member like of the entire space force or whatever it is, and they're all
He
painted.
just pissed off a bunch of people.
What are they? What would they call them?
I don't know.
I'm not a
Star Wars?
Star
Talking
Trek.
about Star Wars?
Trek.
That's the same thing, right? I'm just kidding.
They also sell like paints and modeling supplies. And
I
glues
told
and
him they
stuff.
can get dirt outside, but
Yeah.
he wanted to buy some dirt.
What I got from Blackheart, this is just a base, and this is from This Island Earth, Metaluna Mutant. And then here is the little tiny figure, the Metaluna Mutant, that goes with this thing that
Can't
goes on
see
it.
that one very
I
well.
know
I'll
you
put a
can't.
picture up on that one.
Yeah, but it is, again, I just absolutely love what they do at Blackheart Models. And if nothing else, you just got to go and look. Whoever's doing the painting on these, it's photo realistic.
Mhm.
It'll be the creature
Every one of them.
or Christopher Lee as
The
Dracula.
blood.
You look, and the eyes, that's the thing that's just
Mhm.
amazing. There's workshops on how you paint realistic eyes that just, to say that this at one time was just a piece of resin and now it looks like you're staring into somebody's eyes.
I mean, it's a testament to what they print, though, because I've seen those from them before they've been painted and they already look cool.
Yeah.
But also, when you talk about, I won't say this before I forgot, talk about doing research about it. Also, if you look to see who's coming, there tends to be a spin to that as well. And now he didn't show, but there was a bunch of stuff prepped out from like Gremlins and things
was
like that.
all over.
So you could tell people were ready to sell stuff. So if you see that, oh, Joe Dante's coming and next year or whatever, and you're like, oh, The Howling, they're going to play that, then they might have a bunch of stuff from
I
that.
feel bad for the people with 3D printers that made all these gremlin models. And it's like, so. But I mean, I guess maybe there are people out there really into gremlins. So the second movie was Valley of Gwangi, which is, again, just a classic.
An old classic.
Ray Harryhausen kind of, stop motion animation stuff, which people on our channel know. We talk a lot about horror movies and sci-fi. So, The Verdict.
The Verdict.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think? What do you think I think about
I would give it a 9 out of 10 this year.
a 9 out of 10? Ooh, that's a high marks. 9 out of 10 is pretty high.
It is.
I would give it an 8 out of 10. Just going to be a little harsher on the hotel. That torqued me a little bit.
Well, you know why I give it a 9 out of 10 is, and it's the modeling side of this.
Yes.
I came away with some I can't wait to I didn't show, and it's in a box, the class that I took, the mummy
When
diorama
you get it done,
kind
man,
of
you
stuff.
put it up.
Yeah, it is just absolutely, that alone, what I learned, and the fact, I mean, they give you everything. You don't have to, paint brushes, paint, everything that went with it was amazing. And these, I can't wait to build this, and the tips kind of stuff. So I learned more about trying to do models, whether they're plastic models or resin models or vinyl models. I learned more. I feel like I'm a better model having gone to it. And you don't really model.
That's the difference.
That's the
then.
difference.
But the negative marks for me are going to be from the venue and not from the
Right.
event itself.
What was it like to do this with your father?
I mean, again, I did give it an 8 out of 10.
What do you think? Okay. We really love to hear your feedback, your comments. What did you like if you went to Wonderfest? We've already got some comments from people that from in other countries that would love to make the trip to the U.S. and go to Wonderfest. It's
Well, there's
every
more
year.
than one Wonderfest that's sort of part of this thing, but this is the one that's in Louisville.
Yeah.
So
But this is, and it's every year. And so we would love your comments. And next year, if you see us, we're both, God willing, we're both alive. We will be there.
Mhm.
And
For shizzle.
yep. All right. We'll see you at Wonderfest.